98.5 FM. We discuss state house on fire, cost of fire outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosted Mohammed Elba, Director of Communications for National Agency (NDMA), and Bintu Fatmata Kamara from Legal One and PRO for National Fire Force. Don't forget to be part of this discussion on Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM and on All Out Radio in Bo 92.9 FM, on Amza Radio in Makini 96.9 FM, and Top Radio in Kenema 103.7 FM. True Talk, get the facts, get True Talk. This week on We Economy on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM, we discuss State House on Fire, cost of fire outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosting Mohammed Elba, Director of Communications for National Disaster Management Agency (NDMA), and Bintu Fatmata Kamara from Legal One and PRO for National Fire Force. Don't forget to be part of this discussion on Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM and on All Out Radio in Bo 92.9 FM, on Amza Radio in Makini 96.9 FM, and Top Radio in Kenema 103.7 FM. True Talk, get the facts, get True Talk. This week on We Economy on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM, we discuss State House on Fire, cost of fire outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosting Mohammed Elba, Director of Communications for National Disaster Management Agency (NDMA), and Bintu Fatmata Kamara from Legal One and PRO for National Fire Force. Don't forget to be part of this discussion on Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM and on All Out Radio in Bo 92.9 FM, on Amza Radio in Makini 96.9 FM, and Top Radio in Kenema 103.7 FM. True Talk, get the facts, get True Talk. This week on We Economy on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM, we discuss State House on Fire, cost of fire outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosting Mohammed Elba, Director of Communications for National Disaster Management Agency (NDMA), and Bintu Fatmata Kamara from Legal One and PRO for National Fire Force. Don't forget to be part of this discussion on Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM and on All Out Radio in Bo 92.9 FM, on Amza Radio in Makini 96.9 FM, and Top Radio in Kenema 103.7 FM. True Talk, get the facts, get True Talk.
Good evening, family. I welcome yet again to our program, The Economy, where they meet you from True Talk Radio 98.5 FM, from All Out Radio 92.9 FM, from Amza Radio 96.9 FM, and from Top Radio 103.7 FM. The Economy in a program where they tell you about the things that they happen in our country, and we get to do with business, finance, and the economy. Inside the program today, we get discussion on the topic State House on Fire. Waiting at the cost of outbreaks them of fire inside Sierra Leone. We all they see say as we they approach the rainy season, many us them on the born. And people them they get questions on their mind. Waiting they cause them. Some man even don't take them far for say, anyone we born and say na electricity problem. See. And from State House in own born one to the recent one we happen at Crabton, we they see say if it cost people them, then lives, sometimes then properties, if it's very extreme or very dangerous. And self, boku money can go na some money and with them thing they the be. So inside the program today, we want to understand within actually na the cause of them recent outbreaks of fire them, within actually na the effects them we then get and how it cost the country. Inside the program for Join We, if you get any question we go want for Ask We, not forget for Ask We either by calling us or send them a text message to the number 072-641-729, 072-641-729. And you go also the catch you any one panel radio stations them where we don't call, or you catch you with Facebook page. Now, me where they bring the program to una today, my name na Bimba Kamara.
This week on We Economy on School Talk Radio 98.5 FM, we discuss State House on Fire, Cost of Fire Outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosting Mohamed Elba, Director of Communications for National Disaster Management Agency, NDMA, and Bintu Fatmata Kamara from Legal One and PRO for National Fire Force. Don't forget to be part of this discussion on Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM and on All Out Radio in Bo 92.9 FM, on Amza Radio in Makini 96.9 FM, and Top Radio in Kenema 103.7 FM. True Talk, get the fact, get True Talk. This week on We Economy on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM, we discuss State House on Fire, Cost of Fire Outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosting Mohamed Elba, Director of Communications for National Disaster Management Agency, NDMA, and Bintu Fatmata Kamara from Legal One and PRO for National Fire Force. Don't forget to be part of this discussion on Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM and on All Out Radio in Bo 92.9 FM, on Amza Radio in Makini 96.9 FM, and Top Radio in Kenema 103.7 FM. True Talk, get the fact, get True Talk.
Family, welcome back. If you join we, my name is Bimba Kamara, and this is the program We Economy where they come to you on True Talk 98.5 FM. As I've been tell you now, make a member you say this program will go until 8:30, and I forget to guest them with me. We will come discuss on the topic. So now go no side as we bring the information to you on the thing and where they happen inside business, finance, and the economic sector of the country. Just stay by your radio so you go able to get all the updates that we get for you today. Like I tell you just now, inside the program today, we go talk about State House on Fire, the cost of fire outbreaks them inside Sierra Leone, and for that day we will get two guests them like I just informed una. One na Mr. Mohamed Elba, when I am the Director of Communications for the National Disaster Management Agency. Mr. Bartel Fambole Madu.
Thank you for having me. Good evening to you and good evening to viewers.
All right, and the next person where they join we, INSEF, in the commot from the Fire Force Division. And I am the Assistant Inspector. And in name now, Madam Edith Dumbia. Tell Fambule Maduma.
Yeah. Good evening, Fambule now. Good evening.
And so, same way, so, Mr. For they bring the program come to you for reports on the victims of the incidents, for reports on the incidents them where they happen, Mina Bimba Kamara. Now, we reports have been actually go get story on waiting at the recent thing them where they happen regarding the fire outbreaks them. And it been able to capture the perspective of many people them. And we go on bring that report they come to you.
Over the past 1 year, plenty fire incidents on the happen at Salon, where it affects big government offices, houses, business place, and even state house. These all make citizens begin worry and raise concern about what really the cause all these fire incidents, whether na EDSA, faulty wiring, or something else, within exactly not the problem, especially as fire incident don't turn the order of the day. According to a report from the National Disaster Management Agency, NDMA, from January to March 2025 alone, Salonda recorded over 201 fire outbreaks across the country. One fire in Namakente village destroyed 21 homes and left 245 people homeless. The next day, another fire in Kenema district burned down 19 homes. All these don't raise serious alarm. Similarly, according to the National Fire Force, out of the 201 fire outbreaks, the western region, which include Freetown, topped the list with 119 fire incidents them. And April alone, don't get 15 more fire outbreaks, which include State House and the 34 military hospital. For sake of that, Adena Lumley Regent Road, Kanego community, whose fire incidents will take place, and about 67 homes been burned, where plenty people be lost their homes and lost their properties. I be talk to some of the people there will be affected during the fire outbreak. For no waiting because the fire, how them be able to respond, and if they be receive any support from government, and this now waiting they be get for say.
I pay lights. The lights be the kind hot, So the last one a week I smoke be the common one room, and the room be locked. Will not be in this there. One of my sister now, I say smoke before they go watch the fire don't explode. So the breeze be blow that day, that money there around there 9 to 10. I come on markets, I don't start for doing my business, I don't cook all my markets, I don't put up. One and not able to get safe, not to know able to all team born because the fire, the breeze be don't breeze and now. Nobody know able to map now. So we lost everything.
How many Muslim born at this community?
67.
And they not able for pull nothing?
Nothing. Nobody no pull nothing. We brothers they no more now at the community because for our first step we would send call before they can now we brothers don't hold the fire. Even when they can they say our water not inside the tank. Once I don't inside the motor car. So them be like we brother them one for pet safe. They say we let them return back. Because they see they can't see how they happen. Before that, once if for already all time that machine and they for already that motor car they for already because at any time fire the blaze, fire the cage on side. So when I go able let them can they quick that moment with that fire the cage. But they not do one. Before they reach our brother they don't hot some fire they know. But we like we hold in our so we don't think all born all things them you know.
On a beginning support from government.
Nobody. They can't that they boku government. The other when they under government so they can't have boku they snap we then give we names then boku to the right boku names and so from what they say they can they no car. We no see them none. Now we don't so now we the bolambola for we say.
Now lights come and go. Where you can now? Now they we see lights now one man in room or in no day. But then say na extension I mean catch. So then cause the fire. But then call before then call fire first. The first car then can water no did it. So before that one the car all done bomb. So now the youth then they hot the fire. Oh yeah, that don't catch. Then can Caritas then can Red Cross then come different. One are government supporters then the other one there they say na fire force, fire voting but the other one there then can they say na city council. They all do the registration but say today you don't cry say nobody know help na ready for don so. If they see people nobody know they help. Nobody say today but Jagabani one grain that Jagaban that money we can give small. What we share na 700 times our number na 67 host owner there. Or all my game picking this married woman there. So now so nobody tell when they cancel no get side for the door. You can see who's out with the door. You can video they show the people who's out with the door yanda. I don't the door. Where you go there go video the next.
Well really I become commoner. I don't go walk now by Juba. But my brother then call me, then say if I don't take place now the compound we day. So me say I get for run cam and meet now if I don't take over and all but who side. So I come and able see me say if I can't help for that moment to for can hot fire. I try for me on things and force. But really what would they pull some things and man then they get out and go to we lost but putting then I also you see. So after we don't pull me on things and my neighbor there help them back. From there and I can't join back for hot the fire. Low fire force then call them, then can but the roadway then can't pass there, they're not able for can right inside the compound. So then get for round back, then can at the failure. So we then can at the meeting at the fire almost we don't cool and down. Some youth then they don't help, they don't cool the fire down. You understand? So then back we then can do supporting and for hot the half cool then we left.
As same way so interview some citizens them will not be affected from the fire incident as to waiting they think say they cause the fire incident where they happen at the country. In this now waiting they be careful say.
Concerning the accident they already happened, they get a view, even though it not happened to me, but one day when they be as a victim to us that they always they complain of electricity problem. That's to say the bad light where they come off from earth. So I think it's another problem. I don't know how then they get the lights, the amount of voltage within the send.
First of all, I can start with the overcrowding. Like more like the arena, this Josiah community, Josiah Drive community. This carnival fire incident will happen in Pambodi State. I've been like overpopulation, congestion and all. according to what they say that, like, let me say that carelessness, you understand? Because people like get this habit to leave their appliances them on, and then they turn things there off for what they come on. At least the advice is before they turn your meter off, they come on. But you know the practice that they are something like I say. So you see the awareness not the all over. So I feel like that can happen.
As another year, this now within the people in the Canigo community begin to say, as they don't express them pain and talk about how the fire incident don't affect them, as they don't get place for sleep and lose everything. The people in the Canigo community, they cry to Papa government and as organizations for council the aid, for help them and provide basic support in terms of food and shelter, as they look up to the government for help. Maria Makalmamara from Truth Talk Radio, bringing on this report.
This week on We Economy on Truth Talk Radio 98.5 FM, we discuss State House on Fire, cost of fire outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosting Mohamed Elba, Director of Communications for National Disaster Management Agency (NDMA), and Bintu Fatmata Kamara from Legal One and PRO for National Fire Force. Don't forget to be part of this discussion on Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. on Truth Talk Radio 98.5 FM and on All Out Radio in Bo 92.9 FM, on Amza Radio in Makini 96.9 FM, and Top Radio in Kenema 103.7 FM. True Talk, get the facts, get True Talk.
Family, welcome back to the program. Today we discuss on the fire outbreaks, them where we don't notice around the country and how much it costs the state. And if you just join you go get a chance for participating inside the program as we carry on, and the number na 072 641 729 072 641 729. So now we come to you, Madam Sobo. Waiting at the role the National Fire Force they play. Tell me about National Fire Force.
Thank you very much, Mr. Presenter. The National Fire Force, they play a very important role for combat the fire incident in the country. One, in terms of training, educating the public, like we'll get a department, the fire prevention department, they always out there for educate people at how for combat fire and some of the things the way they not for do for the fire no encounter the houses them.
Okay.
We'll get a lot of what they do.
Okay, thank you very much, ma. Where you, Mr. Bar, tell me about the National Disaster Management Agency small.
The NDMA an agency the government established in 2020 by an act of parliament. Okay. And we have been formally launched, in November 2021, and we get a very broad mandate for deal with disaster-related issues, and disaster-related not just one phrase, but the disasters and the hazards them vary. The fire force get a mandate for deal with fire, for respond, and of course also do fire prevention. But we get a more broader mandate in the sense that we deal with flooding, we do the rain season, and of course we also deal with windstorm, natural disaster, mudslide, landslide. So we get a very broad mandate for ensure that we able for manage with disasters and also build the capacity of communities and at chiefdom level, district level, regional level, for leaders self-able for manage the local hazards them, so that then go for avert any potential disaster where you go destroy life and property in the local community. So in a nutshell, that now the mandate of the institution, and I believe since the establishment of the institution, we're able to deliver on the mandates, to a very large extent, because of the enormity of disasters that were on the record. Well, disaster actually, you can forget the threshold. For you refer a particular incident to a disaster. and then but say anything happen to somebody in one kitchen, born self, then a disaster. Those are minor incidents. In fact, of course, you find out even we data we relate to the fire incident that we don't record. It's a little bit different for fire force. Fire force don't get a mandate for, put out any kind of fire. We get a threshold. We go warrant you for come in and respond.
So what's not that threshold? What's not on scope? What's not consider as disaster?
Yeah, we get to relief policy, relief and response policy. We like the magnitude of the disaster, the incidents, the number of people affected. We get various layers and things that we look for. We can warrant for consider that incident a disaster and follow we record them. So, but fire force now then all kind of disaster then they respond to. So if I say the data where we get a different little bit from that of fire force because then get general mandate or put out all kind of fire. Whereas we get because we get a humanitarian face in the sense that when the incident there happen, we only know to go join fire force or go help or put out the fire. After that, we also can go do assessment and respond. We can respond with relief items, for example. And so now that make we get the response policy. So because we also do go with some relief items, food, maybe building materials for help them for rebuild, or if not picking they go school, we look out for them. If not businesses, for example, we give them direct cash, startup capital for let them start up them businesses and again. So that make we develop that relief policy there. So then they go for allow we for determine as and when we respond to the issues and they. So in a nutshell, generally that's now we mandate and we actually get a very broad mandate.
Nice. So I think, well, in light of what you don't say, I think this one I want to run to you because some of the fire incidents the move there recently are just of a small magnitude. It's not really that much for like you consider a disaster. Say for example, one girl was born. You understand? So, but from your perspective now, then, we don't see boku fire related incidents. Then, if now one was born self or like West State House catch fire or a whole community in a Crabtown. So, some of the main cause them for this frequent fire them over there?
Yeah, the main cause them actually we get the one winner, the electrical. When some of the causes them we can happen. Then another common one again. Now we save the people with the left way appliances then unattended to. We call human error because you got to use a stove or you gas cooker, maybe you forget you left it on. That can be again another cause. Somebody can smoke cigarette, they pass and drop that in jot, hot them. It can be another cause. We go make a fire spread. Then somebody can use again heater, maybe the boiling water. And when you look that heater, it gets a maximum size. We say the water for tap before you light the heater. If the water not tap na that range where the water for reach, then you put the heater on. The tendency for that heater they begin catch upside outside the water not reach. It catch. At the end of the day, if person not there for watch them, instead they cause fire through them. So now some of them they cause fire, especially EDSA. It's one of the key thing them.
So now
we can cause the electricity aspect. Yes,
recent occurrences.
Yes, exactly.
So in that way, how don't they respond from fire person perspective? I mean, take one key incident as case study and tell family.
Oh yeah, like the recent fire that already occur this past days from inside this month from the past month and this one current where we do so now. We don't really attend a lot of fire them.
Good able tell family and some of them?
Yeah, like the one close by we last a week ago with the State House fire, we will strictly attend them, and if not for a timely intervention to that fire day, like it before go out of hands, but with timely intervention into that fire, we able mitigate and combat them with widespread na the office. Like I say, even today again, another fire happened, and we'll get a lot of records, fire records. We there occur within this short possible time. We'll get 228 incident fire the way they occur.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the older record.
All within the western.
All within the within the western area and the majority, both east, south, and the western area and the majority of them fire. Then they will respond to.
Come to you, Mr. Ba. When I don't do any investigation on any of them recent fire, them where they happen.
Yes, the fire incident, them, if thankfully the public understand that when we say these are electrical fires, not necessarily means it's responsible for most of the fire incidents that happen.
Exactly.
So it is fine. If thankfully we get that clarity.
Yeah, that's right.
Because if not so dandy, you find out almost all the houses for them burn.
Exactly.
You understand? That in a simple logic and if people understand. When we say electrical fires, now because of the way people relate with the electrical appliances back home.
Oh, okay.
So for example, for more than billion also or dinner also rents for the last 30 years, you don't ever do rewiring. And you can get some cable that we can worn out, or you get other don't go charm some cable. We see exposed and there is a connection, definitely ignition to take place and everything. You get also some other people and then they the houses to the wire, they go buy small circuit breaker, a very small one. Now that circuit breaker they connect a TV, then AC, then water heater, then goose for iron, and all of those are very heavy appliances. They require high voltage. So if the power of the appliances outweigh that breaker, they catch fire. If you house properly, you don't electrify them properly with the right electrical materials, and also the right person, the contractor will look out for do the electrical installation. Even if bad light can, the main switch they go off. The main switch, let's assume if high voltage come, that main switch they go off, the tip they go off for itself, so your house will be protected. But most of them areas there, I would tell you, after with the incident will happen, what will they go assess and know will they find out say one, them people in a direct cable and connect from the pole. There was no proper electrification inside them slum communities, for example, or their houses and they, or it could be say somebody don't go buy that light extension.
Yeah.
Where the cable, because you get what's it they call that plastic with it on the cable. You understand? Na insulators there.
Yeah.
Where once that plastic they burn, you understand? The cable exposed, it catch fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mostly nothing can happen. Mostly, or then they use small circuit breakers and they put high voltage appliances in the burner. You understand? And mostly like when somebody says just not the interview, they're not in there. What anything happen? You get somebody, you one green post, they take 1 meter, it connects a whole clustered community. 1 meter, a whole clustered community, or more then 10-15 rooms. Then they use 1 meter. You understand? So all of those are factors we primarily, but again, they relate to electrical. You understand? That make we refer to them as electrical fires. Not necessarily means the voltage at the same. You can say if you house properly electrified, you get a very good switch. For example, you get different sockets that inside it will lead to different appliances inside your house. We see bad light can it skip off. It skip off. You understand? So that are the major cause we responsible for most of the fire incidents. Like for we, that are for Western area. For NDMA, we also don't respond to fires in the provinces. We get for deal with bushfires, for example.
Okay.
We don't respond to fire in Moyamba and Kenema. Who say bushfire, they go burn bush, it left for burn take and the tongue. It catch fire, it catch the whole village, it burn the whole village because not touch house and they.
Wow.
We don't do a lot of sensitization around them communities and they say once you do you farm, do first of all what we call farm belt. You brush just after we say you want for plants. We say you want bone, you brush like then 2 to 3 meter or feet. So that space good where you don't burn the farm now, where you can take we say if grass now they need to continue.
Yeah.
You understand? So we don't tell them say always let them do farm belts and then communities and they, so that when they burn them bush, you know, go jump come inside the town. And most of them, of course, you know, see thatch houses, and some people all they harvest so they get inside the thatch house now up already they keep them. Yeah. So when we see fire good, they all done a field. As far good is to all the bone. You understand? We don't record them fire. We don't record as well 3 incidents that we relate to candle. People in left hand cannot tumble. You understand? We also record 2. Now the very coastal, then some of them coastal communities along that Tumburi, we get for do with house cooking. When inside house the level cook, then fire cage inside house. So we get various aspects them we causes and we responsible for it more. But more than 80% of the fire incidents relate to electrical appliance, electrical fires, and electrical fires not only because of the earth lights where they come, because of the we have people then they relate. We don't do a lot of sensitization on doing fire prevention campaigns.
So you don't mention electrical fires, them candles, them, and then bushfires, them. Yeah. Besides them 3 them, you get any other major cause we can lead to them fire outbreaks, them, or these are the major concerns?
These are the major from we assessment. Now they don't come up very clear, you know.
So
we get one the one we happen race cross.
Okay.
We talk to the people that we did it, them being the suggest say an act of sabotage and like which person go born place. Okay. You know kitchen. You understand? Because they say no to no electrical connection, no to nothing, and just left see somebody suspected and see somebody pass with gallon, you know, by the time the man and just see fire.
But case of arson.
Yeah, arson. But we just an act of sabotage because we don't forget the person. So yeah, done in a one, but to a very large extent, the majority of the fire incidents who don't record, more than 80% of them relate to electrical fires, and the other one them account for the balance percentage.
So, what's are the high risk areas? The more
Freetown, Western area. Western area is the highest. You know, from the 76 fire incidents who don't record now, 62 now Western area.
So you just begin for mention sensitization. I want we come on that part. What are some of the things them wanna they do for make sure say communities them prepare themselves for prevent fire outbreaks them?
We don't do a lot, but before I go to some of the things we don't do, you know, just one for easy platform for talk to the public. No matter the sensitization we do, if the level of acceptability low, yeah, we go difficult for low yield the required dividend. And the reason why it's important for the people, you know, adhere to some of the directives, you know, and fire prevention tips we can give them. Now that God may the Lord forbid, if fire catch a place, and then will come and can give relief items, you will receive it if you die alive, if you survive the fire. But as after life, if you die, government not go for replace your life. So now the very reason that they make, the person you say you did in a house, you know the primary somebody for take care of yourself first. Okay. Before you feel say government for kind, make sure say your environment and your house inside there, your family wanna protected and wanna do everything necessary for make sure you wanna live in a very secure and zero risk house, especially relating to fire. Even if we don't encourage them for letting train them picking them. If smoke they come on one particular wall, training picking say that side that TV they see open as well. As it begins to smoke, just go put her off. People they need to do them, you understand? Then they left their appliances on them, go all day, then everything they own. In the event of any unforeseen circumstance, nobody not there for act. That was then I go, don't go so. So we don't do a lot of jingles throughout the years. Plenty jingles. So they do them, we don't pay in our radio stations them across the country. They play them jingles on a normal day or on a daily basis. We don't use open space campaign, for example, for put them jingles in a big speakers in open vehicles around the town. We even the plan for start safe another one next week. We don't do a lot of documentaries as well. You know, we don't play on television and you know across the country. We don't do a lot of posters, for example, about the dangers of fire and how people relate with their appliances and at home. But in all of that, like I say, if the people themselves no decide, for example, if you want forward the house, what then go tell you say this now 200,000 or 300,000 for this extension. You say no, but go buy the 50,000. It endanger your life and the life of your family. We you count a qualified electrician For can electrify house, he charge you 3 million, 4 million, he say no beaucoup. Then you go out to one quack electrician where you can get 200,000, he do you electrical work in the house, you endanger your own life and the life of your family members. We don't encourage it. Right now, outside, they get registered electricians. Anybody want to do in electrical installation, they go to ETSA, then we take them through the process and then get. Because the reason why we encourage people now is that we draw ETSA attention to this, because we don't partner with them for make sure we do a lot of sensitization around this fire issue. So there is now a whole team na ETSA we don't identify credible and qualified electricians. Anybody who wants for doing electrification, they go to ETSA office. Then go able for take it through and dedicate a qualified somebody who to go do electrical. In the event anything happen as a result of that mandate work, you for bring action against somebody. Most times people they go take certain quack electricians. Nobody, you know, as they make sure the loss, you need to see that again. You know, most of the incident that will happen now this county as it is, we relate to fire incident. I tell you for a fact that the way people they relate to the electrical appliances now, not because of the bad lights we had.
So inside you say on a mandate, but in any way the way you go able for tell we if benefactorization of victims are included, like waiting at the way them own they help people them when are victims now of them fire incidents them or not covered than they.
It cover because if you look at the disaster management cycle, you know we get the response component of it.
Okay.
And that response component you get for do with the humanitarian aspect, because most times people like you don't go through devastation, you know, forget them back we send them in there and help them for recover. It requires some little assistance, okay. And equally so, you know, for cushioning the impact of the devastation they don't go through, we always come in based on the needs assessment. The assessment, I mean, for before they respond, they do an assessment first for know the total number of people that are affected, the actual household, because household different from the number of people that are affected, okay. And of course, if lactating mothers and they, if people with disability they, if picking away they go school they, if not business places people they get in livelihood. So then they will determine the type of response we can do.
So what about them fire incidents?
Yeah, sure. We cover them. We don't do assessment. Yeah, we don't do assessment in all of the areas indeed. For example, like if in Osborne, we go there, we look at the people and we affected. The landlord, of course, with the gam zinc and nail roofing nail. Okay. Them pictures are all day from help and for rebuild. And the other people that we affected. Would they give them, for example, rice, you know, cooking oil, okay. Foam mattress, you know, if not picking them, also when they go to school, we can give them school bag, we can give them books. Like I say, it depends on the assessment. Okay. You understand? So that's what we able for determine the level of response, the type of response we can do to them.
Let me come to you, Madam Lumbuya. So with the National Fire Force now, tell Fambulem how ready Fire Force be for response to emergency cases them when they happen, like the workforce, the workers, them, the equipments, them. Tell me about the current status inside Fire Force.
Yeah, the current status now that we don't do improvement of fire stations in various areas them.
Okay.
Like we get Cambia, now the district them, Moyamba, Pujong. And then in terms of equipment them, we make sure that some of them area then they all get vehicle, most of them get vehicle for attend to fire incidents them. Now the different areas them, and including the western area, yeah, we get Aberdeen, we get Kisi, as well as headquarters in the training school in Rokel. Okay. We get stations and therefore respond to fire incident then.
So compared to 5 years ago, if you compare the difference in the manpower and that of the equipment, which thing you could see?
Oh, a great difference, because for now we don't recruit more staffs.
Okay.
And then equipment them add new fire engines them we don't add, so a lot of improvement.
So from the time when somebody they call on, how quick it will be for a response? Sorry.
We can respond quickly as soon as the call come in, because we get the control center where they receive call. Now all the stations them, be Aberdeen or be in provinces, we go free emergency line there where they call at we. For at any time they call on fire, say fire dinner so the team.
But we get this
Yeah, they
stigma
have
now
already.
where saloon man don't get say, by the time fire force they come, they always go down burn down, then they come with the thing done. Which are some of the challenge them we can make on a slow for response sometimes.
Oh yeah, sometimes we can get this road networking because some area they like a vehicle not able reach now some certain location then like we talk of the hill area or some side the street can so narrow for the vehicle for pass through. So like we can get some of them challenges then they at times like the vehicle go for stop somewhere else, start for connect the hose them. I could remember one area the way then call for fire where the engine not able go will not get able to get access. Pass will get for use the community tank, water tank, the Miller tank. Now in the community get for help with the fire force for reach out to that fire. So now these are some of the challenges that we can face for going fire ground. At times again traffic, all can cause that.
So what about them? If family them we don't know it, if they want for contact tuna during an emergency, how they go contact tuna?
Oh yeah, we'll get with free lines them like for the headquarter line we na 300 300 we it not go cost you anything a free line for the headquarter na 300 and we'll get Kisi we na 301 you can dial and get person go they will respond to you for headquarter. They will get Aberdeen we na 302 you call at Aberdeen, they will respond to you. Then for the western area, and again the same town when at the training school, na Rokel, when at 309 for all, for training school, they will respond to you. Of course, they can be now 304, 305 for all the other area, the province system.
So
and some of the free line, then they will go call emergency line. Then.
Yes, ma'am. So you've been mentioned to we say the state of the status quo right now inside Fire Force, like equipment, they whoop. You understand? There was this video where they go around who say a certain Fire Force, a certain worker in the Fire Force being the top what the conditions with the inside the National Fire Force with the vehicles them to a point it been get for send the picture out say government don't buy new equipment them you see, and it was about 2 or 3 Fire Force vehicles them we see. We're able to throw light on Nandi.
Oh yeah, like for some of the equipment them, well, like I go throw light on some of the new equipment that we coming. Okay. Just like how rightly my brother say, something the way they go buy. If you go buy the cheaper one, the cheaper one can tend not for last long compared to the dear one. Like we get an incident where we go out of for hot fire, where the hose, we there at the middle of extinguishing that fire, where the hose just cuts. So on the bus under, so on the cut under. So this now some of the thing that we face. The equipment and but on they're not too that good. So now some of the challenges and then we face. So get the equipment really, but they're not too strong for extinguish the fire for we. You see. So now that, and then in terms of the vehicle. The chief fire officer they try so hard because we been could remember we get one vehicle we been done. We don't take now all one. We don't take wait now, but the chief fire officer don't go all out and see that the fire they don't fire engine they don't working order now to the extinguish fire. So the government safe don't help
Okay, I believe say I don't know Fire Force. Now, like how MDA they operate on a way or on a get different operation, which are the try for understand is not just response mechanism they wanna get or wanna get other factors them back like wanna get ways them programs they wanna they do for enforce prevention or not just with fire happen wanna they respond.
Oh yes, not to just respond no more we get the fire prevention unit where we every day then they out there for educate people in terms of fire prevention of which most of the things that my colleague don't measure then I are not sending picking for play with matches. They want the way they left their appliances then on and go work. Then they therefore educate people and they go to schools them, go to different MDs and they educate people. And even like your office now for more come we are the wait and not see any fire extinguisher now we now one of the things and the way we encourage people for your office forget fire extinguisher. Even your vehicle where you ride, you forget fire extinguisher there. Now, some of them thing we get the department so they go educate the public out there. Forget all them thing
Interestingly enough, maybe you know go upstairs now. Oh. We actually get a fire extinguisher upstairs.
Okay.
Don't you been there?
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually like that point. So I want to understand something. How one can prioritize areas then when it comes to emergency response? Assuming say STEM in the way they get two different areas them with the born at the same time. Sometimes one a high economic activity zone and the other one sometimes a residential. Which one can prioritize?
Oh yeah. Now we could get different stations them around we get the HQ within at the central and then we'll get the Aberdeen. So let's say for instance if like a fire incident don't take place now, they'll get another one na Lumley. One we go call at Aberdeen go respond to the one, the educator, then call educator say you go attend the other. Then if there in any case you need reinforcement or like you need help, we can call again. We can call as far as again as training school. For can help now any each of the two sides where the kid for see that we coil the situation down. That's some of the ways then that they are working tackle the fire.
I also want to understand something. Given the state of equipment them we they right now inside the National Fire Force, what are some of the challenge them with the limit on a national coverage like in terms of budgets? When they get constraints them on that part there?
Oh, well, that one way it will be discussed with the management later in another forum because as I tell you now, me senior officer there now AYV and I don't have to repeat that now again because they discuss them there.
So if anybody then at the public can work with Fire Force now, so for ensure say them able for amplify the work on they do, una open to them kind thing them. Waiting on some of the partnership they wanna get with private companies them or outside donors them if any.
Oh yeah, like we the partner with ONS, we the work hand in hand in collaboration with ONS and then again the police. We also work with them because like as we brother be they explain. It can reach a time where they go hot fire way, people like in stone way. They not can know waiting at the situation we surround we maybe we no reach another fire in the earlier. Then waiting don't get na stone, old stick, this that stone. So we can work with the police for day with we at any time we would go fire police for save your own life. Because in as much as we go out there for go save life and property, we save your life need for be saved. Because they not go think the public know they think of waiting na the situation where we encountered and na road till they reach the scene. Then waiting then can one for no as they call now within the twinkle of an eye we for don't reach now they say yes that now we manage for read because now that was the yarn for say we're not going to anything disturb way alongside where we go for go hot this fire but we not can get no option for meet traffic and we not again bang motor car them for go we just can just take with time till we reach now the scene. So those are the partners that they work with ONS, the disaster management team as I don't explain here rightly, and then with as well as police for guide yourself to the fire scene.
So I'll go on through the light to you, Mr. Ba. So we want to focus on the economic aspects. What's are the economic impacts them where them fires them actually can they get, and how then they affect the national development plans them with the country they get?
In two folds, one we especially the response. Government cannot get in priority areas for make sure say them focus on building schools or any other developmental stride. So for at any time we record, for example, more than 100 incidents inside 2-3 months, government to get a responsibility and obligation for response to them. And most of them items are who can they procure. Now government they procure and a huge cost for response to them. So if we prevent them from happening, definitely governments the money then they will be concentrated to other development. So that's one aspect. Then two, we're not able for holistically determine the economic loss. So to say, follow able for do an assessment on damage and loss. Then it's very difficult for me because one, we need to get the expertise for do that. That is lacking at the moment. Okay. So, and we want, even if we put out a damage and loss assessment, let the assessment be credible. Not for just put them out there no more. Let be credible. Because Natiwe international partners very, very, very much they look forward to for Lebanon. And of course the last COP self Natiwe the COP being central around damage and loss. and disaster risk reduction. So important for like we know that, but as it is at the moment, it is very difficult because most times the reason why you need more expertise than that, like if place born, it needs super expertise for determining the property they were born there. You understand? Some can born to ashes, if you know whether they did it. So it need an expertise for, very strong expertise for you for determining damage and loss. Though no data not the way 100%, but we want to ensure that once we put out a data, it's something that we are working on really with the World Bank. Okay. Then we go forget a credible data what they put out there. So economically, on the side of the government and the GDP, and the impact and way they get on the government, because the money is so plenty what they use for respond, especially for buy food, rice, oil, blankets, soap, paste, mattress them and the likes, because we get plenty of things that we can do, tarpaulin, zinc, nail, all the categories of nail for the roofing and all of that, 3 inches, 4 inches, roofing nail, all done there. Now government they procure. So imagine if we need to record the incident there, government go for using money and the for do other developments and other sectors.
Where una can they respond to people? Is it just on material assistance, or una get some kind of economic or financial scheme or una they give them as well?
No, I tell you just now say after the assessment determine the type of response we do. Okay. If now people don't have business, we get for the livelihood. Now money with the cash we give them. We don't get beaucoup like the fire incident we happened about a year ago. And the vice president maybe 9 leads, and of course we do cash, we do check. Some we give them cash, we don't do one na Kabbalah, we do one the last thing na government WAF, because now business plays on it. So the assessment they dictate to we say yes, then people are at this time of response and go beneficial to them. Not if I just go give them one bag rest, what they go do to them. For example, especially when our business people and from that business them then they sell and they take care of them, picking them and pay them picking them fees and other things stuff. So for as long as they get for the livelihood, we can always come in with cash for give them for at least start back small, so then go room for sell small and make profit till the business grow. So but that in regards to the type of response we can give to them.
Right. Family, if you just join we, my name is Bimba Kamara, and the program they come to you on We Economy 98 on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM. We take a quick break, family, and when we come back, they open the phone line in case you go and contribute and add your own voice to the show.
This week on We Economy on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM, we discuss State House on fire, cost of fire outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosting Mohamed Elba, Director of Communications for National Disaster Management Agency, NDMA, and Bintu Fatmata Kamara from Legal One and PRO for National Fire Force. Don't forget to be part of this discussion on Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM. And on All Out Radio in Bo, 92.9 FM, on Amza Radio in Makini, 96.9 FM, and Top Radio in Kenema, 103.7 FM. True Talk, get the facts, get True Talk. This week on We Economy on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM, we discuss State House on fire, cost of fire outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosting Mohamed Elba, Director of Communications for National Disaster Management Agency, NDMA, and Bintu Fatmata Kamara from Legal One and PRO for National Fire Force. Don't forget to be part of this discussion on Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM, and on All Out Radio in Bo, 92.9 FM, on Amza Radio in Makini, 96.9 FM, and Top Radio in Kenema, 103.7 FM. True Talk, get the facts, get True Talk.
Okay. Family, welcome back. If you just join we, the program today on We Economy, they actually try for talk about the recent fire outbreaks them, where we don't notice inside the country and waiting they cause them and waiting at the effect within they get. And with me at the studio, Now, two wonderful guests them where they help with or provide perspective on the issue at hand. One come out from the National Disaster Management Agency, and the other one come out from the National Fire Force. We they open the phone lines now in case you go and contribute your own thoughts them to waiting at some of the things them where you don't see, and you can send text to we, or you can drop comments now with Facebook page, or you can call we on the number 072 641 729 072 641 729. Again, I repeat the number them 072 641 729 072 641 729. As we've been they continue with the program, so they come to you now, ma. Waiting in retrospection of waiting on happened in the past 3 months. You feel say waiting we don't notice in this the recent way in which the fire incidents then begin pop up. So it be none they happen, or this one just spontaneous no more it not happen yet.
Actually, during the dry season, now normally we can get a lot of fire incidents then. Okay. Because one, the wind where they blow, okay, that can make we get a lot of fire them. Like for in the provinces now, like the bushfire when my brother explained now the wind can go, they blow and they go with them. They reach na the town and burn all houses them. You find out say during the rainy season, we can get less fire because outside cool. We get the wet weather, sorry, the wet weather. So like the tendency for left fire just ignites all of the sudden. Then everybody they stay at home, at least they look out, they look at then things them all anything. So that can help for combat the too much rise of fire during the rainy season. But you see, during the dry season, I can get a lot of fire incidents.
Also, how much it can cost fire force for like one fire truck or one fire station? I mean, why are they asking? If you say we really get enough for cover the whole country?
Really will get challenging. It will really get challenged because as you look the city now, the city too wide, people, everybody don't left the villages don't can stay. We don't so congest na the city. It really challenging in that area really challenging.
So where will they watch the current amount of equipment with the National Fire Force get on a percentage basis, like from 1 to 10, how lacking if you say the vehicles them or the equipment them we need for respond to emergencies them we could happen at the country? How lacking we they on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, we did approximately we did to 8. 1 to 8, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because all training school well equipped, Kisi, Aberdeen, and headquarter HQ for the central. So you see, we really.
We get some message them we don't come inside now. We are going to read out. You say this one say hello, my name na Hannah, but people they call me baby ya. Na Kanigo community.
Yeah.
He said this year we get one big fire outbreak. We burn 67 host them. Government people them been calm. Them take we name them. We lost all we property them and them promise for help we. Say but up till now they not do nothing for we yet. Till now we not get place for sleep and na in season they come so. Do ya at the big NDMA and other heart organization them for come help we. This other one in the comment from Mohammed Nadwazak. He said this message they go to the woman from National Fire Force. He said the day where the fire been the catch Yana Kaningo, where I been come visit my friend. He said we call Fire Force them come and water not been there inside the tank. He said the youth man them be one fetch themselves pass where them go back and come back. He said by the time almost all team in non-born now, and also them come really late. As he let I take these first two text messages the more we get. I think one they go to Mr. Bar and the other one they go to Will. We handle the one for Mr. Bar.
Yeah, the possibility from where they go do assessment, certainly they will respond to it. Well, as it is at the moment, the institution is very overwhelmed because of the sporadic fire incident and the number high volume, the number of incident and plenty. So we still ourselves are not depleted very seriously because we will respond to all in undone. And we don't write to government. The government supposed for replenish the store, the procurement process currently ongoing. And we get a whole lot of incident for response. Those are the normal across the country. We get pending issues, and from 2024 on, they will only go respond to it because of the frequent occurrence of the issue and the numbers are so huge. One green fire incident at times they affect more than 200 to 300 people. Wow. One green incident. So the minimum if you get some very serious fines, and the minimum are then 30 something, 40 something people.
When I don't try for do like a cost breakdown for know how much this fire they affect government and the community then.
Yeah, like I tell you just now, the money huge. You understand? Because in the absence of a clear cut analysis, now it's difficult to put a figure to them. But of course, just imagine if you get like close to 1,000 or 2,000 people for respond to across the country, you provide for. Of course, just figure out it's going to be a very huge sum. We actually need to deal with cash when it comes to that because that's what they do the procurement. They just send. Then just supply the equipment, the relief items in our store, and we take custody of them now because we get the data and go respond. Not really handle cash.
Yeah, so on that note today, I mean, I don't work in the civil society field for a while myself, and I want to understand a perspective. Why, if when are open to public-private partnership, then because right now you don't say like when are store depleted at the moment.
Yeah, sure.
When are not try for established partnership with NGOs and others.
We get plenty. Right now, with the partner with because most of the institutions are now, because we are a government outfit and now we get the data, the credible data for the areas and people that are affected, the people that were affected. So everybody they come to it. The last time we support Red Cross for going for a project where EU give, we help them join and we respond to the public, to the people that were affected. We don't similarly so with UNICEF, World Vision, you name them, Concerns Sierra Leone. And in fact, then Concerns are not only for response, but for through the disaster risk reduction directorate to be able to deal with them, we then construct. They actually looking at the challenges and we tell them because there was a particular place now, Wellington, one major waterway, what got so the plan have been the major cause for flooding in that place. Concern go construct more than 13-meter long and drainage in that place. We don't stop the flooding in that place. So we didn't kind of just go inside the gutter and go. So we then partner very well with because most of them get component of disaster management. So anything we get for root response, for example, then they work with NDMA and with the partner. In fact, most of interventions now being partners, especially the NGOs. We also don't get support from ECOWAS, the AU, African Union. We don't reach out. So we not only land government, but we don't reach out actually for make sure so we partner very well with other people.
Thank you on the point. Yes, now we come to you quickly back. You don't hear you waiting the text from the man that was say it quite contradictory to the point say if we really get enough equipment on the National Fire Force for respond to emergencies that must arise, why we still get complaints like then kind so like the one way happen at Kaningo now, we then say una come una in the youth man them almost fet c'est pas so una go and by the time una they come all team number one. It speaks to two aspects. One, the equipment and the lack of equipment and then two, una response, the delay in una response. So I come back to my question number.
Yeah, thank you very much. The person who sent this question, I'll tell him thank you. In plight to that, where we go hot fire? It go don't be say we don't get this first fire incident, we don't go attack them, we don't go fight them. On your way returning back to base, then call you again for another fire. We are rearing, maybe where you don't go hot that fire, there's half water don't left in the tank. But there is no way you go ignore for going at the other side. You just get for going at the other side with that water we don't, that quantity we don't left na the fire engine. But on your way going, the incident commander now go call back for another reinforcement to the other station for say, come back me up. I don't come on at this fire and they don't call me for another fire. I go attend to this fire. So come back me up. So and then na the first people who go reach na that fire scene day go reach with that kind quantity of water. But there is no way where vehicle go na a fire scene without water. It go stay no more. It go there. Maybe it go with that half water until you don't come on hot fire on another side. But within the short possibility, it go see another reinforcement vehicle can again for can augment that force code they will reach at the fire scene.
All right,
For
so
can help the situation.
hold the thought here and the conversation quite interesting. Famulem, if you just join with the talk about the cost of fire outbreaks inside Sierra Leone, and we get a representative from National Disaster Management Agency and also from the National Fire Force. We've been on to provide them perspective. Then we'll take a quick break, and then when we come, we will continue with the sub from National Fire Force on the question we ask them.
This week on We Economy on School Talk Radio 98.5 FM, we discuss State House on Fire, cost of fire outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosting Mohamed Elba, Director of Communications for National Disaster Management Agency, NDMA, and Bintu Fatmata Kamara from Legal One and PRO for National Fire Force. Don't forget to be part of this discussion on Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM and on All Out Radio in Bo 92.9 FM, on Amza Radio in Makini 96.9 FM, and Top Radio in Kenema 103.7 FM. True Talk, get the facts, get True Talk. This week on We Economy on School Talk Radio 98.5 FM, we discuss State House on Fire, cost of fire outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosting Mohamed Elba, Director of Communications for National Disaster Management Agency, NDMA, and Bintu Fatmata Kamara from Legal One and PRO for National Fire Force. Don't forget to be part of this discussion on Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. on True Talk Radio 98.5 FM and on All Out Radio in Bo 92.9 FM, on Amza Radio in Makini 96.9 FM, and Top Radio in Kenema 103.7 FM. True Talk, get the facts, get True Talk.
Okay, Famulem, if you just join we've been the talk to the sub for the National Fire Force. It's quite interesting. You just been non talk say in the response. The only way we una go left a scene away. Sometime one of una person say, "Come cover me," and they will respond quick na another location. You've been done also previously. You've been not mentioned say in them situation and you get certain districts them or certain area them na tongue na one part of the fire force they cover, other area them una get other stations them for fire force where they cover the.
Yeah.
Why the question now is why una go get one unit will left a spot where for cover and then it go cover in another place where presumably another sector of fire force for cover.
What here they try for saying is that if HQ then call HQ for fire. HQ don't go hot this fire. If there is any way emit this fire so bad for them, then go call Abadi for rescue, for can support. And for let them go combat the fire quickly as possible. So we can do that. So in that area where this question come from, where this person asks, say we they go, we know they go with water. There is no way that fire engine will go for any fire outbreak and not go with water. And I also commend me ops officer where in no they agree for let any of the engine in this station without water. Even as them come fire, the first way they ask the incident commander, when I don't refill, that's the first thing. They refill them, he stand by. For any other.
In the case of Kaningo, waiting have been the issue now.
That I explained so clearly that me not go na the fire scene really, me not being go, but being that I can't for let me can say the fire engine go there without water, it not can be so, it not they be so. Now make I say. Because we get a rapid fire them throughout them weeks there we don't pass so. It might be say this engine don't come off at fire. And when it come off at fire, the water they reduce na the engine. Now half go left there. Maybe it can meet up now say they don't call for Kaningo. And when then that same zone they get the fire, they don't come off at fire another side. Then they don't can call him back for Kaningo. So it just get for go na Kaningo with this waterway it gets in possession. But at the end, so then you know go down reach it na the scene and call for reinforcement. Say, come on, fire don't happen here. Na in a so quantity. I get where I reach na the fire scene. That make I'm sure on that day, when they see this first fire engine reach, within another second, then see the another fire engine come. We get water, and then you think of the traffic congestion at the road, all that day in the road network, they cause the delay. You see.
So with them fire, I want to understand them fire hydrants we see across town. How effective are they?
Oh yeah, now that's not one of the major challenges we get with Goma. Okay. The fire hydrant no they at with disposal. Now one day at with disposal we na this one way they na Eastern Police. So just imagine if Aberdeen, for instance, if they want. They not get fire engine, fire hydrant to side in this on Aberdeen station. Pass and go put Metchem that the 7 battalion area for go refill. So can you imagine? Aberdeen for go all that way they for go refill. Maybe if water don't done, so then they go for go refill and call them. Pass and call like HQ for go respond to that fire. So you go just think of that kind of distance. So now all them constraints there, then challenges there, we they facing because we not get access to some of the hydrants there in the city. Fire force not get access to them. Then in one of the major challenges they face.
Why would not get access to them?
Well, Goma being close them. That's now Goma gets them within the info. Passway like the office we use a borehole. We get now offices them. We get a borehole na HQ and another borehole na Kisi. We na them with the use for refill.
So with like in the past, yes, from January to March no more, this 2025, they don't report like 201 fire incidents then nationwide, you see. And out of these 201, 119 of them no more at the western region alone are they focus, you see. So with them kind of situations then where they happen, and APA News been reported on for example, and if you watch the Calabash newspaper back, I've been they read something this evening where I've been they think around the topic. Them talk say like fire disasters alone they cost like the government 1 to 2% of the GDP.
Oh, yeah.
If not that amount, the economic burden them now they get on the country. So you know feel say na something we una be able to talk to government for let una allow for let Guma allow una get access to them fire hydrants them. Because you've been just on tell me say like on a scale of 1 to 10, the economy and the equipment them una get and the level of comfort at least how me go call them with fire force get now for the able for carry out them okay say na 8 you go rate them. So for you some of them challenges them back if they make family them they wonder.
Oh yeah, like the hydrant now one key thing that they will use we will say now we key to we success because for let you they per day you not drink water. It take a risk for your life. So like the hydrant now we don't key unit than the way we use for extinguish fire. So if fire force we get constrained or get challenge in them, a cause to complain for we a very serious for we the one who will get. We now we manage just that borehole who get now normal they manage within na HQ. A very challenging. So the equipment they go the vehicle go the hose then go but the hydrant forget the water. Now another thing. Now another challenge. But as I say, the heads me boss then they work hand in hand with Guma and foresee how best then go put that into a nutshell. Let we go get access to the fire hydrant then especially for the central city because when the majority of the fire then they occur.
So Sarah alluded them been post recently say 94% of the disasters they don't happen in this first quarter of 2025 no more as Sierra Leone and say fire related incidents then. So if they make myself would afraid my uncle na also afraid interestingly my uncle he say he tell me say if the day where if they come it meets I put my light on a room and or the switch on, and I know hot time. We say they disconnect all the appliances them in my room. They disconnect everything. You understand? In the afraid everybody they get this fear now. Say sooner or later it will meet you, it will happen to you. What are some of the specific strategies them now we fire force they implement for address this alarming trend? Because they told yesterday, me and my uncle been the laugh for that before he say they disconnect my room. It's the idea say take to yesterday craft on fire then you don't talk say electrical fires them the way we they handle the equipment them
one day
like
carelessness.
What's one they do now for make sure say una address this alarming trend the way fire don't boku so now?
Well, planning and day management and they put planning in place, work with heads hand in hand for see that one the installation measures them. I can get a scenario like some people and they do this direct installation of this how we call this we at Sadigi meter we they no one pay. Now one of the other cute thing and the way we will find out. Some man because they no one pay to EDSA, what thing they do? That the meter, then they tend for how we call them reconfigure them into their own like we go put on direct so that it no go show a reading for say yes that TIF light for sure say at the born light too. So that naked connection, the direct connecting where they can do so again to through the meter can be one of the thing we the cause the fire and everything.
So in rounding off, waiting are you final words them where you go and give family them as precautionary measures them from the National Fire Force to them regarding this issue?
Like now one of them this way at the say the one I go send on to EDSA. Let do ya as how my colleague don't say that they don't put measures in place there, they don't train them, personnel them of this installation or how then they install the meters and the houses them. So let them they send them personnel them out there for do the installations. And anybody so far where you want install your meter, now you also make sure say the possible way to go install your meter for you. Now you well train somebody from EDSA. Now you to go install for you. Let them go connect for you meter direct now you host. And then do you me fumble them where you they sleep before you they sleep or go work. Make sure say you disconnect all your appliances them before you go sleep or go work. And we left for the connect one meter to so many houses them or one extension to heavy appliances and at the house you connect your freezer, you connect your AC, you connect your air conditioner, all that thing and you connect to that. So one extension at the house. Do you we put all them precautions in place now? That now my final word I go.
Okay. So we go take for end the edition for today for we economy program. We say plenty thank you for you we don't deal with we and you we don't text as well as you we don't the follow up and also to the guests them we come for we then tell we the own story. Meet we again next Sunday, same time, same place. Una stay safe and una keep una bucket water full. Make una no yagi una neighbor the Allah and una no able go help am. Just joke. And so till next week, me will bring the program to una. My name na Bimba Kamara. Thank you very much.
This week on We Economy on School Talk Radio 98.5 FM, we discuss State House on Fire, cost of fire outbreaks in Sierra Leone. Hosting Mohamed Elba, Director of Communications for National Disaster Management Agency, NDMA.